Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Franchise Hockey Manager 9 with the Seattle Kraken. And we're at the end of the second season, and yeah, something clicked after the after the trade deadline. You can see the Kraken ended up with the second best record in the Western Conference, even though we're openly hostile to each other. We finished with the second best record in the West. You can see if we go back to March, trade deadline was right here on the 3rd. So we lost our first game of March, and then we won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. Then we lost a game. Then we won 2. Then we lost 3 out of 4. So we lost 4 games in the month of March, or 5 games in the month of March, while winning 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we went 10-5 in March. And then we go over to April and we won 6 out of 7. So, yeah, just a great end to the season for us. Let's take a look at our team stats. David Pastrnak, his first season as a member of the Kraken, 80 points, 38 goals, 42 assists. He was everything we wanted him to be. Matty Beniers had 76 points in 80 games. In his second full season, he exploded onto the scene with his first 30-goal season. Anthony Duclair, we have a very interesting decision to make with Mr. Duclair. He scored 36 goals this season for us, 68 points, but his contract is up, and he wanted last we talked to him, he wanted over $6 million or something. Oh, it's down to 5. Okay. Well, that's reasonable. That may be something we can do. $5 million for 3 years. Who is, just out of curiosity, who is available? Wanted to see if we have any like elite defensemen. Jamie Drysdale, but he's going to be an RFA. Like if I filter out the restricteds, yeah, you can see the list drop significantly. We talked about this last episode. Someone like Devin Taves might be a nice option. He'd probably be the one I'd go after if I went after a defenseman. I'm not going after D'Angelo and Barry. He's okay offensively, but not as good defensively. I think Taves is probably the way to go. So Duclair's an option, but we've got so many other offensive options. The other thing that we can do, and this is something I'm thinking about, is trading Andre Burakovsky in the offseason. If you look at our team harmony, everybody hates him. Jonas Siegenthaler, Bjorkstrand, and Sanheim all hate him. So we may end up moving him, which would help one of the I don't know. Like, look at the click. This is just a huge click. Burakovsky, Schwartz, Hill, Duclair, Wright, Glendening, Furcus, and Lindgren. It's just a huge click. So I'm not entirely sure what to do there. Not to mention Duclair is listed as unpopular. So I don't know. He's giving us the offense, but maybe that money is spent better defensively in the offseason. Not quite there yet, I guess. I don't know. Burakovsky, 65 points, though, had 46 assists, led the team. Connor Bedard, his rookie season, 57 points in 82 games, came 1 goal shy of that 30-goal mark. Pavel Zacha only had 9 goals, but 46 assists on the year, had a good season. Jaden Schwartz, he was okay, 49 points. He's somebody we're probably going to look to move in the offseason as well. Shane Wright, his first season, not bad, 43 points in 82 games on the third line. Bjorkstrand was just okay. Siegenthaler was quite good. 38 points in 82 games. He was a plus 15. We did sign him long term, 3 years at 4.6. Sanheim, his first season for us, only 35 points in 70 games, but he's a plus 21. So I will take that. Caden Gould, you can see, look at his stats there. 3 goals, 22 assists, 25 points in 54 games for us. He was a plus 20 with us. Justin Schultz will be gone after the season is over. Jagger Furcus, he'll likely slide into one of those spots, either Duclair or Burakovsky next season. Bonino was fine. We brought him in as a defensive forward, and he did just that. Glendening, same deal. He was a plus 4. We have him next year as well. Carlo, probably going to be looking to move Brandon in the offseason. He doesn't get along well with other people, and Lindgren can kind of fill that role, I think, for him for less money. And then you can kind of see from there. And then goaltending-wise, Mackenzie Blackwood had a great year, 2.76 goals against, a .917 save percentage. Aiden Hill was up and down, probably not worth what we were paying him, so that might be a way to free up some money next year as well. So that's where we are. We made the postseason. Let's take a look quickly at some of the league leaders. So Gabriel Landeskog led the NHL in goals with 59 goals for Landeskog. Wow. Connor McDavid with 48. Matthews and Rust with 47. McDavid led the NHL with 77 assists and 125 points. We only had 300-point scorers this year. McDavid, Landeskog, and Sebastian Aho. Devin Taves was a plus 48, so again, he may be the guy we go after in the offseason. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare led the NHL in shorthanded goals. Jacob Vrana in power play goals. Matthew Olivier, 164 penalty minutes. Luke Glendening led the NHL in faceoff percentage, so that is perfect. That was a great signing for us. Goalie leaders, Justin Noonan, 44 wins for the Avs. Thatcher Demko, 42 losses for the Canucks. Varlamov led the league in save percent or in goals against. Save percentage, Matt Murray. There's Mackenzie Blackwood sitting in 8th. He's also 3rd in wins. He had 8 shutouts, which puts him 3rd. So all in all, a good season for the Seattle Kraken. Yep, so here we go. McDavid, Landeskog, Aho, Kaprizov, Ovechkin, Larkin, Gensel, Johnny Gaudreau, McKinnon, Matthews is your top 10 in points. Landeskog, McDavid, Matthews, Rust, Line, Ovechkin, Vrana, Kaprizov, Marchessault, and Timo Meier are your top 10 in goals. McDavid, Gaudreau, Gensel, Aho, Rantanen, Moritz Seider, wow. 67 assists. Mitch Marner, Dylan Larkin, Kaprizov, and Josh Norris, your top 10 in assists. Here's your plus minus. Power play goals. Vrana, Line, JVR. Wow, the old man getting it done on the power play. 19 of his 25 goals were on the power play. Timo Meier, Ovechkin, Sam Bennett, Landeskog, Elias Lindholm, McKinnon, and the Breadman are your top 10 in power play goals. So that's kind of where we are. Yeah, I don't know if we don't have the playoffs yet. So let's go to our next game. It says our next game is today, which doesn't make any sense. Next game's on the 18th. There we go. All right, so we'll sim ahead. Make sure our lines are set the way they need to be, and then we will get going in the postseason. And we're taking on the Kings, the Los Angeles Kings. Let's look at the said Kings. They went 45, 31, and 6. They are led by Quentin Byfield, the 21-year-old, with an 85-point season. Adrian Kempe put up 40 goals this season. Wow. It's a pretty good 45, 31, and 16. Kevin Fiala, 63 points. Fagemo, or is it Fagamo? I think it's Fagamo. Fagamo. I think it's Fagamo. Samuel Fagamo. I think I heard it the other day. 57 points. Kaliev, 51. Victor Arvidsson, 50. Anze Kopitar still going strong at 36. Drew Doughty at 34. Sean Durzi, those are pretty good numbers for a defenseman. So, yeah, they get a lot of offense. Goaltending-wise, Cal Peterson started 60 games for the Kings, 29, 22, and 6. He wasn't a good goals or a good save percentage, not a good goals against, which leads me to believe the team gives up a ton of shots. So let's make sure our lines are set before we get started. Everybody we want out there is out there. So Siegenthaler, Sanheim, Gould, Lindgren, Schultz, Zub, that's fine. Burakovsky, Beniers, Pasta, Zaka, Bedard, Duclair, Schwartz, Wright, Bjorkstrand, Benino, Glendening, Furcus. Power play looks fine. PK looks fine. Yeah, we're ready to go. So let's see how our first postseason goes. First game is a 5-1 Kraken victory, 2-0 after 2. We pour on 3 goals in the third. Bonino with the first goal of the postseason from Glendening and Schultz. Burakovsky from Beniers and Lindgren. Then Bonino again in the third period. Burakovsky and Pasta. So 2 goals from Bonino, 2 goals from Burakovsky, and 1 from Pasternak. and we take a 1-0 series lead. All right, let's get on to game number 2. At home against the Kings is a 6-1 win, so we are dominating Los Angeles here in the first round through the first 2 games at home. Pasta with a hat trick. Let's go. Artem Zub. We're getting goals from unlikely sources early in these games. Zub from Schwartz and Wright, and Schwartz from Lindgren and Gould. Pasta from Wright and Schwartz. Sanheim from Beniers and Siegenthaler. Fiala would get a goal early in the third. And then Pasta twice in the third period. Burakovsky and Wright, Bonino and Gould. So we are up 2-0. The series goes back to LA. Carlo's going to stay out. I mean, he's just, we're playing well without him. So go to the next day in Los Angeles. And the Kings bounce back with a 3-1 victory in game 3. Pasta gets the first goal of the game, 1:05 in from Burakovsky and Beniers. Then Kempe, Fiala, and Gabe Velarde in the empty net. So it's 2-1 here going to game 4. Somebody has to win on the road before a series really gets started. Let's see what happens here in game 4. We do. We take game 4 on the road. We are up 3-1 with a 5-1 victory. Sanheim from Pasta and Burakovsky, Schwartz from Schultz and Zub. They would get a goal in the second. Then Bonino would score his third goal of the series from Lindgren and Glendening. Sanheim on the power play, Beniers on the power play, and Blackwood stops 40 out of 41. So we are up 3-1. We look to complete the series at home. Game 5. We do, and we beat Los Angeles easily. 5-1, 5-1, then we lose 3-1, and then we win 5-1, 6-1. A 4-goal second period put this thing out of reach. Schultz, Wright, Burakovsky scores twice. They get a goal in the third, and then Wright and Schwartz put this thing away. Cal Peterson gets pulled, and we advance to the next round of the playoffs. So let's end the day. Who are we taking on in round 2? Here we go. So we're going to be taking on the Flames. Calgary Flames, Seattle Kraken both advanced. The Blues and the Blackhawks both advanced. First round in the West was not overly competitive. Over here in the East, the Lightning take out the Bruins in 4 games. The Panthers are up 3-2. So we're only waiting on the Panthers and Detroit here to finish their first round series. Series is tied at 3. Still nothing, huh? All right. And the Red Wings advance. They defeat the Panthers 4-2 in Game 7. Game's going to kick over to May. It's going to take a second. So I don't really have a plan for this episode. I wasn't really sure what the plan was. Like if we go all the way, this is just going to be the postseason and we'll do the offseason next episode. But like if we lose in the next round, then maybe we go to the offseason as well. All right, so we're making some points. I want to see what we can save. I have a ton of money dumped into, or a ton of points dumped into morale because everybody was unhappy. So not going to change anything there. I want to try to save the points to see if I can use some of them next year. We're taking on the Calgary Flames. All right, let's take a look at the Calgary Flames. 46, 30, and 6, good for 98 points. Jonathan Huberdeau led them in scoring, 76 points in 78 games. Elias Lindholm, we already saw he had 40 goals this year. Nazem Kadri, 72 points, but isn't dressed. Is he hurt? March 17th. Herniated disc. Yeah, he's out. Okay. Well, he should be back, though. Mangiapane, 61 points. Noah Hannafin. Yeah, not a ton of offense. They got a good top line. And that's really it. Capo Caco on Calgary. Who is their goalie? You got a combination of Jacob Markstrom and Dan Vladar. That is a good goalie combination. Both played really well. Both put up sub 2.9 goals against, and both put up at least a 9-10 save percentage. So, see if our offense can break through against this Calgary team. Hall of Fame nominee. Who do we want to vote for? Ray Whitney, Verbeek, Newmanen, Wesley, Larmer, Smith, Eliash, Waite, McGillney, and Duchesne. We're going to go Steve Duchesne. I love a good offensive-minded defenseman. All right, game one at home against Calgary is a 4-0 Kraken victory. Come out guns blaring. Anthony Duclair in the first, unassisted. Pasternak from Burakovsky and Lindgren, followed by Beniers on the power play. Siegenthaler from Wright and Schwartz, and a 20-save shutout for Mackenzie Blackwood. So we take a 1-0 series lead at home. Game two at home, and we have an injured player, Jaden Schultz. Justin Schultz. I keep calling him Jaden. So that means Bayreuther's going to have to go out there. That's not quite what I was hoping for. He's on the third line. Certainly don't want him on the top line. We're going to do that. Load up the top two defensive pairings. All right, game two. It's a 4-2 win, so we maintain home ice advantage. Beniers from Pasta and Siegenthaler in the first. They would then score two. Mackenzie Weegar and Mangiapane. Zacha and Siegenthaler both score in the last couple minutes of the second period. Then in the third, Connor Bedard gives us the 4-2 lead, and we would make it hold up. So we're going to go to Calgary now, up 2-0. Carlo is back, so we can take Bayreuther out and put in Brandon Carlo. All right, game three in Calgary is a 2-1 Flames overtime victory. Schwartz would get us on the board first. Adam Ruzicka would score in the third, and then 8 minutes into overtime, Trevor Murphy would get his first goal. So we lose game three of this series, just like we did in the first series. Can we pick up game four, though? Game four in Calgary is a 3-2 Flames victory. So they've taken both games in Calgary so far. The Blues, 8-2 winners over the Blackhawks in their series. Weegar and Backlund would score. We would get the thing tied on goals by Wright and Pasternak. Then Rasmus Anderson would score with 3 minutes left. So there we are tied at 2 now as we go back home in all-important Game 5 against the Flames. What's going on now? Oh, good. Can we not, do I not have the ability to... How do I not have... Oh, the click grew larger. Look at the size of this click. Carlo, Furcus, Gould, Burakovsky, Schwartz, Hill, Duclair, Wright, Glendening. That's like the whole team. Doesn't that mean, shouldn't that mean that everybody is, happy if, the whole click is, one team? The whole team is one click? All right, so we got to get Wright out. We got to replace him with Frost. That bugs me that with bruised ribs, he's not able or willing to play. So Glendening will move up there. Game 5 at home is a 5-1 Kraken win. So he still needs to be held out of games. That's fine. Zacha would get us on the board first, and then 4 second period goals. Sanheim, Duclair, Glendening, and Schwartz would put it away. Blackwood with another good game. Game 6 tomorrow in Calgary, or Calgary if you're from Canada. Wright is ready, so that didn't take long. We can get him back out there. Frost, replace with Wright. Make sure we have those. And here we go. Game 6 in Calgary. It's a 3-0 Flames win. So this is going to go to Game 7 back home against the Calgary Flames. Here we go. Fingers crossed. Game 7 in Seattle against Calgary is a 5-1 Kraken win, and we advance to the Western Conference Finals to take on the St. Louis Blues. Andre Burakovsky, Jaden Schwartz would get us up 2-0 after one. We'd go up 3-0. Pastrnak would pick up his 8th goal of the postseason. Capo Caco would score. Zacha would make it 4-1. Bonino would score with 3 seconds left. His 4th goal of the postseason. Nick Bonino only had 4 goals in the regular season. He has 4 goals here in the postseason. So Schultz is ready to come back. And we'll stick with Carlo, I guess. Oh, yeah, we're gonna go with Schultz. We're gonna go with Schultz. All right, let's save the game so that it doesn't crash, or in case it crashes, we'll be okay. Let's take a look at the St. Louis Blues. So they were the number 4 seed. They're 44, 34, and 4. Offensively led by Robert Thomas, 81 points. But other than that, not a lot of offense from this Blues team. Tarasenko had 36 goals. Buchnevich was okay. Kyrou was okay. Ryan O'Reilly only 44 points in 80 games. Colton Parayko was okay. Goaltending wise, Jordan Binnington, the man-child, with a great season though, 2.49 goals against and a 9.18. So again, it's going to be all about the goaltending, and can we beat this St. Louis Blues goaltending, as we are in the Western Conference Finals, taking on the St. Louis Blues. On the other side, the Red Wings took out Tampa Bay in 6, and the Penguins swept Washington. So the defending champion Penguins are back in the Eastern Conference Finals, taking on the Red Wings. Game 1 at home against St. Louis is a 3-2 Kraken win. We win it in overtime. Buchnevich would score 33 seconds in. Pasta would get his 9th to tie it. Connor Bedard would give us the lead. Torrey Krug would get the equalizer with about a minute and a half left. And then Bjorkstrand with his first goal of the postseason, 4 minutes and 23 seconds in to overtime, would give us the win. The Kraken making some noise. Game 2 at home. 5-4 St. Louis victory. So they take home ice away from us with a win on the road. Jordan Kyrou and Torpachenko would give them a 2-0 lead after one. We had 3 goals in the second period. Burakovsky, Pastrnak, and Siegenthaler. Krug would score for them. It was 3-3. Shen, then Bjorkstrand would tie it, and then Brandon Saad, 7 minutes in, would be the difference maker. So it's 1-1 going back to St. Louis, which means we do need to win a road game. And we get it with a 2-1 victory. Yes, we are going into delay treatment for Siegenthaler. We need him out there. No scoring in the first. Bedard from Lindgren and Duclair in the second. They would tie it, and Burakovsky would pick up a goal with 2 minutes left to give us the win. Game 4 in St. Louis. Can we take a commanding 3-1 series lead? We can, with a 3-2 victory. So we are 1 game away from the Stanley Cup Final in our second season at the helm. All 3 goals scored by David Pastrnak, goals 11, 12, and 13 of the postseason. He has been a monster here so far this year for us. Here we go, Game 5, back at home with a chance to go. We got an injury. Nick Bonino is out. That's not ideal. We will replace him with Frost and see how this game goes. Do we go to the Stanley Cup Finals? We do. With a 3-1 victory over the Blues, the Seattle Kraken are in the Stanley Cup Final in our second season at the helm. Caden Gould with a goal and an assist. He scores our first goal of the game. Then we pick up 2 in the third, Bedard and Pastrnak again, and we go to the finals. Wow. Who are we going to be playing? That is the question. So Bonino's ready, so we can take Frost out, put Bonino back in. Let's look at our stats really quick. Regular season, playoff. David Pastrnak, 14 goals, 6 assists in 17 games. He's a plus 11 in the postseason. Burakovsky is averaging a point a game. Wright's averaging a point a game. Wow. Shane Wright, 3 goals, 15 assists here in the postseason. Jaden Schwartz with 15 points. Beniers with 13. Really, nobody has been a disappointment. Furcus is a -2, but whatever. Goalie-wise, Blackwood has been amazing. A 1.63 goals against and a 946 save percentage here in the postseason. So who are we going to be playing? Is it going to be the Red Wings or the Penguins as they go to a Game 7? And it looks like, guys, we are only going to be doing the postseason here in this episode, as this obviously is taking a little bit longer, which is a good thing. And we're going to be taking on the defending champion Pittsburgh Penguins as they defeat the Detroit Red Wings in 7 games. This year they were 48, 31, and 3, led by Jake Gensel's 95 points. Rust had 87. Brian Rust, Evgeny Malkin at a point a game at 37 years old for Malkin. Sidney Crosby was hurt, but look at those numbers. 55 points in 41 games for the ageless one. He's no longer Sid the Kid. He is the ageless one. Ty Smith, 51 points. Ricard Raquel, 47 points. Podkolzin, 45. Jeff Carter, 39-year-old Jeff Carter, giving him 17 goals. So they got a lot of offense up and down that roster. Goaltender-wise, Tristan Jarry, 34, 22, and 3 with a 2.96. Who has gotten the starts here in the playoffs? It's been the rookie. It's been Joel Blomqvist, 2.82 and a 9.18. Jarry has not played at all in the postseason. Malkin and Gensel lead him in scoring. So here we go. Stanley Cup Final, Year 2. Seattle Kraken and the Pittsburgh Penguins. First game goes to the Penguins. They beat us 3-2. This is the first time we've been the I don't want to say underdog, but we've had home ice advantage the entire time. So they were up 2-0. McGinn and Poulin up 3-0. Malkin, Pastrnak would get his 15th and his 16th, but we couldn't get any closer. It's going to be a bit of a delay here as we get to June 1st. All right. Top-selling Kraken jerseys: Pastrnak, Blackwood, Hill, Burakovsky, and Bjorkstrand. Development report: Kyle Kaiser is somebody I'd like to bring on, but I need to see those goalie ratings get better, man. Mentally, he's great, but I need to see those goalie ratings be better. Luka Hauff was one of our top picks this past year. He's getting better. Goyette, potential 4 stars. Otavainen, potential 3.5 stars. Ryland Brown, we picked him up in a trade this year. Tucker Robinson is up to 2.5 stars. He'll likely be with the team next year. Bedard gets better. Wright gets better. And a bunch of players get worse that we sort of have expected to get worse. Monthly budget. All right, we're still gaining some points. Not a lot of points, but we're gaining points. Game 3. This is game 2, at Pittsburgh. Is a 6-4 Kraken win. The offense explodes in the third period for 4 goals. We take home ice away from the Penguins here, and we go back to Seattle with the series tied at 1. The click continues to grow larger. That's literally like 3/4 of the team. Bjorkstrand, Zacha, I can't. Schwartz. Yeah, I don't know. The numbers are dropping, though, which is good. So those conflicts are going away. Obviously, Carlo would go before Bedard. Burakovsky, I would not have an issue moving, But there are so many players as part of that clique. I don't know if it's the right move. We'll deal with that in the offseason, though. That's not a problem for here in the Stanley Cup Final. So we're gonna vote for 4. We're gonna vote for Lundqvist, Beezer, Ryan Miller right off the bat. We're gonna go with 3 goalies right off the bat, and then Rod Brind'Amour. I love a good two-way forward as much as I love a good offensive defenseman. All right, Game 3 at home against the Penguins. It's a 3-2 Kraken victory. Crosby and Podkolzin would give them a 2-0 lead. Duclair would score in the second. Burakovsky would score in the third. And then Justin Schultz would pot the winner in overtime. Delay treatment for Lindgren. Yes. We're going to keep Ryan Lindgren out there. So we have taken home ice advantage back. We are up 2-1. Or not home ice advantage back. We have just taken home ice advantage. Game 4 at home now against Pittsburgh is a 7-4 Kraken victory. And guys, we are 1 victory away from winning the Stanley Cup championship in our 2nd season at the helm of the Kraken. Beniers and Duclair for us in the first, Crosby for them. Glendening and Beniers for us in the second, Smith for them, and then in the third, Rust would get them within a goal, but then Beniers has the hat trick, Pasternak and Schultz. Gensel would get them a little closer, but that would do it. So Game 5 in Pittsburgh with a chance to win on the Penguins' home ice. No, Pittsburgh is not going to allow us to win on their home ice, at least not here in Game 5. Pasta with the first goal of the game, Carter and Gensel, followed by Rooney, would give them a 3-1 lead. We would tie it, Beniers and Bjorkstrand, but then Marcus Peterson and Poulin would score for them in the third period. Game 6 is tomorrow at home. Can we win on home ice? No. Pittsburgh wins in overtime, and now Lindgren is out. Shoot. Okay, well, had to take the chance there. So Lindgren will come out, and Carlo will come in. So we lose this one 4-3. Gruden would score for them, Sanheim for us. We would take a 3-1 lead in the second period. Schwartz and Bernard, Podkolzin and Smith would tie it. We go to 2 overtimes, and in the second overtime, Podkolzin would score to give Pittsburgh the win. So Game 7, winner take all in Pittsburgh. All right, so I'm going to vote for one of these players. We'll vote for Brind'Amour. We got coaches we need to bring back. Go ahead and renegotiate with all these guys. We're gonna delay the inevitable here as long as we possibly can. We re-sign everyone. And then we will sim Game 7. All right, here we go, guys. Game 7 in Pittsburgh, taking on the Penguins. A winner take all, and we lose. We lose in overtime. We had a 3-1 series lead, and the Penguins come back, and they take the series in 7, winning Game 7, 4-3 in overtime. Malkin, Bjorkstrand would tie it. Gensel and Malkin would give them a 3-1 lead. Duclair and Zacha would tie it in the third. And then 18-26 into the first overtime, Ricard Raquel would give the Penguins the win and the Stanley Cup championship. So we end our second season with a Stanley Cup final bid. We had a 3-1 series lead, and we lose in 7. Not ideal. Not ideal. But that's okay. It was a great season. We've got a lot to be proud of as a team. We've got some decisions to make here in the offseason, but the offseason is going to be next episode. So I'm probably going to sim ahead to the last day. And we can take, actually, I'm probably just going to sim ahead to July 1st at this point. We'll go back and I'll show you the awards afterwards. But I'm going to sim ahead to July 1st, and next season will be the off season. Or next episode, rather, will be the off season. So Guys, we almost made it. Next year is another year, though. I appreciate you watching. I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.